What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B Hot Radio Shout there. Stepping in the building, I got a friend and family member to the show off in this thing. Adonis, the broker. What's good with it, boss?
What's happening?
Okay, now, AD, you know, what's going on with the brokerage, man? As an entrepreneur out here in these streets and understanding this market and stuff like that, what has it been like for you navigating these waters coming from the pandemic all the way up until now where it seems like stuff is starting to cool down?
I would say for the most part, I'm adjustable, I'm flexible. So now I do a lot more off the market working with investors on the commercial side as well. So I haven't really felt the brunt of this change in the market like other people because I'm kind of growing. I'm doing some different things. Yeah. Kind of got burnt out on just solely residential. So I let a lot of my agents do the residential.
Okay. So now, right now, everybody's up in arms because of this recession.
Recession, the R word.
Talk to me, man. What are your thoughts on this, and how do you feel like it's going to impact real estate in Atlanta and across the country?
Great question. So first, we are in a recession. So I don't want to hear all those technical terms about if we are, we aren't. Don't let nobody trick y'all out.
Exactly.
The first thing is with the recession, it's typically every 7 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. And what happened was the president before this one kind of threw a monkey wrench in their system.
That's right.
He kept everything going, and they kind of wanted to put stuff to a halt. And we saw that kind of in Atlanta where it was like, hey, we in a pandemic, let's shut everything down. And you saw our governor and a lot of other governors like him just kept it going. So typically, like I said, it's between 7 to 10 years, but now since the last one's been like 15 years, B.
Yeah.
15 years.
That's real.
So let's be honest first before I go into depth.
Talk to me.
Man, we had a long time to get our shit together in our community. Yeah. A long time. The interest rates were sub 4, a lot of times sub 3 for like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
They were giving out all these, if you want to stay inside the city of Atlanta, you still had the same Invest Atlanta programs and all that.
Yeah.
And a lot of us missed out on the wave for whatever reason. And now a lot of people are upset because, Atlanta looks different now. Yeah. It's not affordable. And now people are hoping that this recession makes it a little more affordable, makes a correction in the market.
Exactly.
So a lot of business people like recessions because if you're worth $100,000, you should be worth $1 million after a recession.
Exactly.
Worth $1 million, you should be worth 10.
Exactly.
So you should chase your next zero under a recession.
Okay, so how do you think, what is this recession in the real estate market in Atlanta? What do you think that's going to look like, man?
All right, so we got a few wild cards, okay?
Talk to me.
The interest rates, first of all.
Yeah.
So they are about in the 5s right now, low 5s.
Okay.
So that's drastically different than last year when you still could get something in the low 3s. You know what I mean? That pretty much is going to add 500 or so to your monthly note.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A range, I say, between 450 and 700 on the high end, depending on, your taxes. But also the interest rates, but we don't know where they're going to top out. Okay. So even if we don't have this inflated market where it's like a lot of the Zillows and a lot of the open doors and a lot of these hedge funds were putting their money together and just buying up all the single family properties. So the hedge funds were competing with the first time home buyers. So you couldn't get a house because you couldn't outbid the cash.
Facts.
So now, they're starting to panic and say, recession's coming, let's unload. So in theory, we should have more supply and a less demand if the interest rates are high. So if the investors are unloading and then the interest rates are high, it's going to be weird because a lot of the first-time home buyers are going to have to figure out, do I want to buy this house at a lower price but a 6?
Well, I bought my house at a 6 back in 08.
And we were kind of happy to get under 6. Happy to get I bought my 07, exactly. And we were happy, but we don't know to what depth they're going to do to correct this market. They say correct it, but it's really to take it to hell. You see what I'm saying? and I want people to not think about it emotionally. We got to think about this from a cyclic thing. Okay. I want people to go back and study what the interest rates were and the purchase prices in 2005, 2006, and then 07, and then what happened in 08.
Exactly.
Then go 10 years before that. Look at 98. Like let's study it. So I think that's what's going to have to grow in our community a lot of times is that emotional intelligence. Yeah. Like, let's not look at the sticker shock and say, oh my gosh, let's really study. It's a game. This is a game.
How do you feel like Airbnb impacted Atlanta, especially as somebody that had some?
Yeah, and look, I loaded right at the right time.
Yeah.
All right, so unfortunately, a lot of the investors, they have this different stipulation with Airbnb where, first of all, you got to live in the city of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that's gonna hurt a lot of out of towners. Then you can't have more than one. So it's like, okay,
they got to unload them things.
But you got to think about it from a business sense. So if Atlanta is about to be a global city,
facts,
and international, huge companies coming here setting up shop, right? Mm-hmm. Now we got the World Cup coming in 2026.
That's right.
So do we want to give all that money to investors that don't live here, or do we want to give it to the local hotels and businesses and all? You see what I'm saying? So it's really more of a play in politics and lobbying. You know, a lot of people lobby, a lot of these businesses lobby for this stuff to change. And, so I understand it as an investor. I understand it. It was very lucrative. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of work, but it was very lucrative. But, I kind of got out ahead of it.
Exactly.
Luckily.
Pros and cons of the recession, though. Like you said, that folks need to be chasing that next zero. How do you go about chasing that next zero? Because I heard what you said, but how are you supposed to do it?
Diversification.
Okay, now.
I want people to really think about some other stuff. Look at the cost of gold and silver now. Mm-hmm. Gold and silver.
Well, it looks like you done bought it all up.
Well, that. Shout out to all my Igbo people, my Euro, but that's just the culture. But anyway, look at different investments. So me, I'm into a few different things. So stocks. They're going to be on a discounted rate.
Okay.
So you can make a lot of plays with stocks that pay dividends. That's a stream.
Okay.
Crypto, you do what you do with crypto. Some people love it, some people hate it. But you can trade that like you do options, okay?
Thanks.
But that's more of a learned skill. You just can't get in. You're going to lose everything you got if you play in that.
Play with it.
But if you think about stuff like gold and silver, if you look at the cost right now of an ounce of gold, I think it's under $1,700. So what's the importance of that? And I hate to get political, God damn it. But they saying that Russia and China, they're coming together and they're doing stuff. They're going to create a currency backed by gold and silver.
I saw that.
So now if we have gold and silver at a extremely discounted rate, and they're saying it's going to get even lower, I would just kind of buy a little bit.
Yeah.
Every month, every quarter, as we going into this recession, and it's more of a medium to long term play.
Yeah,
you can also, and I think a good website for that is www.kitco.com. Also, commercial real estate. So commercial real estate is considered duplexes to quads, 2 to 4 units. Even, strip malls, depending on your capital.
Yeah.
This is a time for group economics.
Thanks.
In our community. I know a lot of us don't have the highest group esteem, especially when it comes to economics, but this is the time where if you can get 3 or 4 people, you know what I mean? Or even a husband and a wife.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like a household, a mom, a dad, a dad and a daughter. If we can just do that, like this stuff is going to be so discounted. It's literally a cycle. When I say a cycle, I mean buy low.
Yeah.
Hold and sell high. Look at everybody that bought between 2008 and 2013.
12, 13.
You see what I'm saying? When they were unloading during the pandemic, I mean, I'm like, that was me.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is just the time for it, man. It's the time for it.
Okay. Now, when we speak of recessions, what goes hand in hand with that is the job market. Hiring freezes and layoffs. AD, what are your thoughts on that, man? Because, I mean, a lot of people out here, you're telling them to go out here and go and invest and practice group economics, but they think to themselves, nigga, I might have a job next week. So what are your thoughts on that, man?
I would say a lot of what you need to do is more preventative. So if to be candid, if you're in survival mode, just hunker down and survive. This ain't for everybody, okay? Like seriously.
I'm with you.
So let's think about this. First of all, you got to understand this is a cycle. Mm-hmm. Second of all, if you understand that it's a cycle, then you understand how to play it. Mm-hmm. If you don't even understand this as a game and the common first-time home buyer, the common workers is war against the common worker because they played a mind game on us during COVID and said, hey, go live the free life. You can make all this money virtually, okay? You can work from the computer. Now all of us thinking, oh, well, this is what I deserve. And now Tesla's saying, hey, well, if y'all don't bring y'all ass back in this office, you gone. You see what I'm saying? So don't let people tell you it's time to quiet quit.
Oh, what are your thoughts on quiet quitting?
Man, if you need your goddamn job, you better keep that goddamn job. Don't play them games. We're about to see a lot of people that took the jab against their will to keep a job still get laid off, man.
I've already been seeing it happen.
You see what I'm saying? We're about to see a lot of people in these businesses say, you know what? We're not getting the same productivity level. And let's one more thing. Mm-hmm. These middle level managers in the job market, the people that are tasked to say, hey, all the worker bees, I'm not trying to say this in no kind of derogatory way, all the worker bees, you micromanage them and make sure their productivity level is at such that we're hitting our marks. Mm-hmm. Those are going to be a lot of the first ones to go because you're not doing anything productive to further the company. Mm-hmm. So now you're going to see a lot of them trying to show how important their job is. And so we're going to crack the whip and micromanage the hell out of it. You see what I'm saying? And now they're going to be looking at how long you really logged in. Ooh. They're going to really be looking at these time cards and all this stuff. So if you think you're going to quiet quit and play that game, it's about to get real. Now, if you're ready to make a move and you've been working on your side hustle or doing things, to benefit, then cool. But if you ain't, man, don't let them trick you out your job.
And what scares me right now, AD, is that a lot of times we had these conversations, but then I'm scared because when you came back in here, did we tell people that during this COVID pandemic time is the time to get your business together?
It was the time.
You see what I'm saying? That was the time.
Legitimate businesses.
Legitimate. Now, the issue is, for me, is during those couple years of the pandemic, everybody was sitting at the house, and that was the time to figure out a way to get that damn digital money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And now they're forcing people to come back into work, and now you're looking like there might be some layoffs.
Yep.
So the long-ass 2-year vacation is coming to a damn end, but then it might go straight into rocky water because you might not have any money going into this doggone recession.
So, again, it was a game. It was a game. And the whole point of it is this recession was supposed to happen before this. COVID was supposed to be the knockout blow.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see what happens. Ooh. And see what's happened is now we're gonna see who played during that 2-year break and who was actually about their business. Did you go learn how to options trade? We got people in our community. Shout out to the dude Aristotle. Shout out to Terry Egioma. They got these courses that will teach you from scratch how to learn how to option trade, how to learn how to pick stocks and just get paid dividends for them. You know, and I feel so bad. I feel a huge level of empathy because I understand what it takes to like make these huge jumps in your career, and it really starts from your mentality. Yeah. And a lot of times we don't understand that it's war against us. They have to, in order to keep this system going, this so-called middle class, we can't let too many of y'all escape. Whew. We need this worker bee level to stay here in order to keep the hive going. It's only one queen, right?
You know what's so crazy about that? Because that kind of brings me back to what me and Pretty Ken was talking about the other day, because he's of the same cloth of us that he feels like everybody should be a boss.
Right.
However, somebody pulled his coattail and said, hey man, everybody can't be a boss. But my whole thing is that, nigga, give it a try. Damn.
It's going to be by choice or by force.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can work, but who wants to go to work and deal with abuse? Okay? Because I know people that go to work every day, they're dealing with mental abuse.
Yeah.
And that's not a way to live.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's not that difficult to be a boss. Everybody wants to act like, oh, you got to be doing the most to be a boss. No, you go find you a hustle online that works for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Whether it be trading, whether it be content creation, whether it be middleman or something, or doing anything on Fiverr.
Right.
And boss up and make this money.
Yeah, because you can get social media, man, you can get direct to consumer.
Facts.
We know, and these are stats, that, you know, melanated people are the biggest consumers. Everything that they make is really catered to us.
Facts.
Expecting us to consume it. Predictive behavior. They don't just create crises and predictive behavior. They create products. You know, it's they study marketing to a level where they study us and our habits, our habitualness to a level that we can't even fathom. And I think that's the part we don't understand. Guess what? If you're savvy enough and you know the recession is coming, you can create a business around what the problem is going to be. What's the problem that's coming? Okay, what's the solution for it? Create that business. Or if everybody's making T-shirts, don't create another T-shirt line. How about distribution of it? You see what I'm saying? How about some other parts of that streamlined process? You pick that part and say, hey, you know, let me be one of the few melanated people in that in that vein. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, it's funny that you say what you said, because during COVID, I was thinking that we were heading back into a depression or a recession at that time. And one of the first things that came in my mind was to Google what businesses thrived in the Great Depression. Yep. Okay, what was it that people were doing? What kind of businesses successful during those times? And once you figure out what those businesses are too as well, you do that. Yep. Now, back to the quiet quitting thing. Now, the problem is that they don't put a label on it.
I know.
But I don't know if these folks call it quiet quitting or they just weren't being sorry as hell.
Well, it is. I mean, but the thing about it is,
and they want to dare you.
The issue is, it's the attention, man.
Okay.
So you do that, but why would you tip your hand and beat your chest and say you gonna do it?
You quiet quitting.
Quietly, just do the bare, do enough to keep your goddamn job.
Exactly.
But
in this recession, you gonna do enough to keep your job, and your ass gonna get fired.
No, you gonna get fired.
And then the person that's doing the most is gonna get your job and 5 other jobs and no increase in pay. Actually, they're gonna get a decrease in pay, and they're gonna work the shit out of their
And
ass.
that's the other side of the game. So all of my overproducers, overperformers, the subject matter experts in these companies, when they go down from 10 people in your division to 3, it's not going to be nobody hired to backfill. You're going to be doing a lot of goddamn work.
For my overproducers, if you know that you can overproduce and overachieve, you need to apply that work ethic towards being a boss, okay? Because all of that information that you got in your mind is worth money, and you can consult or you can crank up your own situation with those skills. And I just had to sit there right there. I just needed to let them know.
I second that.
So inflation, though, what does that got to do with the damn job market? Well, I don't even understand how they correlate.
Bruh, man. And they ran a trick on us again.
What?
With the gas, man. What was gas before? So if everybody sits on their ass for, 2 years?
Yeah.
Man, that means we got to recoup that money.
They done made their money still.
So guess what? If we go from $275 and then we go to $450 and then we come back down to $350, we just happy that it ain't at $450 no more. But they almost went up $1.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So the inflation is going to make it where, and it's going to tie into real estate because with inflation, the rental market as well.
Yeah. So
now, guess what else is being lifted? The eviction moratorium. So everybody that was living rent free, landlords that had these rental properties and people weren't paying rent, it's going to be almost 4 million people they're predicting in this last quarter that's about to get evicted.
Whew.
So with that eviction on your record, where you going?
See that?
Where you going? So now the cost, first of all, we don't know if you're going to be able to keep your job. The cost to drive is more expensive. The cost for food is more expensive. So now we talking about you might not have a place to live.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? And now you have these programs like Bank of America saying, "Hey, we got this 0 down payment thing."
What was that all about?
Look at the fine print, okay? And this is a part of that emotion.
Come to find out that fine print wasn't that fine.
Come on. so we talking about emotional intelligence. They love to play on the fact that we are emotional.
Yeah.
Emotions are good. We spiritual people, so it's good to have emotions, but be in tune. Now let's break it down. So somebody says we're gonna give you a loan with no down payment, no closing costs, no minimum max. Oh, sign me up. Oh, sign me up. Sounds cool. Now they're going to run this out, and I think in 5 cities, Charlotte, Detroit, Dallas, LA, and Miami, I think. So they're going to be trial runs. Now, let's talk about Bank of America and Wells Fargo and their history of predatory lending and discrimination.
Yeah.
So the optics look like they're doing this for Black and brown people. But what are they saying? Are they saying that this is specifically for Black and brown people? No. They're saying that it has to be in neighborhoods, so-called low-income neighborhoods. Now in Atlanta, what's the West End considered?
It's supposed to have been low income, but hell, the houses cost $500,000.
But who's living over there? So who's really going to be able to get the money? Is it going to be people that look like us, or is it going to be another way that people that are helping to gentrify this get the money? You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's not tied to a nation or a race of people. That's why I don't like that race thing. You see what I'm saying? Because they can't do it, because then somebody else will say you're discriminating against them.
Yeah.
But if they say per locale,
then
they can, now you getting other people coming to play on the money that's supposed to be for us.
Yeah.
And that's why I got to get on this soapbox and say, I don't care if you're a part of the LGBTQ community, or if you're a Muslim, or we got to find a way to be a lot more collaborative.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying? Because the whole point is, if we're working together economically, we can lobby and get a lot of this stuff done, a lot of these laws and stuff changed, and where it impacts us solely. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're so siloed to where it's like, I don't feel comfortable around this person because they're in this subgroup. Who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Okay, so now what about this student loan forgiveness, man? Because they threw that out there at us too, man.
They doing a lot before the election. Before the election.
Yeah.
So let's understand that a lot of this is for the election. So on the surface, you know, I think you get 10,000 if you did not get the Pell Grant, and 20,000 if you did, and a lot of that Pell Grant went to people that was so-called under a certain threshold, low income, low to medium income people. So that's why the delineation between that.
Yeah.
I think this last quarter they're going.
So are they saying that because I got the Pell Grant in college, I'm probably still poor now? Is that what they trying to let me know?
Well, it don't matter. In this case, let them think whatever they want to think.
No, I'm taking all the money, but I don't like that. Don't be calling me poor 20 years after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, 20 is gonna go a long way for a lot of people.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
It.
So yeah. So now we don't know the terms yet on how they're gonna look at who qualifies for it and all that stuff, as far as like the application and all that. We're gonna learn a little bit more of that this fourth quarter of the year. But on the surface, it's better than nothing. So we can, we can, be a little happy about that.
What are the pros and cons of it, though, man?
Well, I would say the pros is you making some money, but the cons is typically anytime you anytime they give something out that's blanketed like this, it's usually like a bunch of stipulations that go with if you've been filing your damn taxes or some shit. It's gonna be some fine print, something in there. You see what I'm saying? So it's not gonna be come one, come all. We know that. Yeah. So we just kind of waiting on the fine print before we can go high or low on this one at all.
Okay. So now, dealing with the recession, we're dealing with student loan forgiveness. We done talked about a lot of different things. I mean, when we speak of our great city of Atlanta, 5 to 10 year projection, man. I mean, what are you seeing going on? I see obviously a lot of commercial buildings are going up all over the damn place. I'm seeing that they are rectifying a lot of the stuff as far as the crime in the city, and I'm seeing a lot of change going on, man. I mean, what are your thoughts?
It's all connected.
Yeah,
it's all connected, man. And being from this city and being at one point in time, I was a nappy head young man, still a little nappy now, but I have a certain level of empathy for our community, for people who haven't been allowed the time to evolve yet. So I'm gonna bring it full circle. So at one point in time, I used to get pulled over. I could only afford a Crown Vic. So in college, I used to ride around the Crown Vic, tinted windows, B. Yeah. And on the surface, I looked the part.
Yeah.
But in my evolution, I understood, and it used to infuriate me, but I understood that a lot of that is part of this public school, the prison pipeline, how they profile and all this. It's deep. So if we have a global city that we want by 2030 to be a global player in tech, if we want to be like San Francisco is for tech over here, and they've already done it. We already know Microsoft is here.
Yeah.
We already know Google's here. They got 2 data centers. They already here.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? World Cup, like I said, coming 2026. We can't have all this crime.
Yeah.
Right, like we can't have this level of crime here, where a lot of people moving to North Forest and trying to hide out. You can't even hide.
No, you can't even hide out.
I feel safer in the West End and Greenbrier Mall than I do in so-called affluent areas. I can't tell you last time I went to Buckhead. I can't even go to Lennox or Phillips in the daytime.
Yeah.
So the empathetic young nappy-headed kid that grew up in the city, that grew up with gangbangers and thugs and drug dealers and all that, but somehow
and a few killers,
and a few killers, and somehow saw the beauty and the life in them.
Yeah,
it's like, but damn, I got kids. You see what I'm saying? So what do we do if I don't feel comfortable letting my kids go to the Boys and Girls Club, just like we did? Like after school programs are different. You know what I mean? The games is different. Like. It's just a catch-22, bro, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, bro.
Well, see, my thing is, I just talked about this with Wick the other day too, and as fervent as we are about locking these kids up, we got to be that same way about helping them.
Yeah.
So when you speak of the Boys and Girls Clubs and after school programs, there needs to be money poured into this stuff as preventive maintenance, so it won't be a public school to prison pipeline. Right. You see what I'm saying? It'll be a public school to college pipeline.
Right.
We can actually do that if that's what we want to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there are teachers that save lives out here. So why ain't they paid like they saving damn lives?
Well, do you want to know the real answer, or you want to know the fantasy word answer?
Give me both. I'm here for it all.
All right. The reality is, who's lobbying for the politics and the people who make the laws? So let's talk about prison, public school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
If we have prisons in all these rural places in typically the South, those are big commercial real estate pieces of property per bed. If I own it, if my group owns this, per bed, okay? So what do I need to do? I need to pay the people who make the laws to keep this pipeline, and that's a part of the music. It's all connected. And I think that's the thing we don't understand. If we don't have any kind of economic stronghold where we put our own candidates in there backed by our own dollar, we can't really make the waves that we really want to. And I think that's the thing. So it's the same way when I talked about the other commercial real estate where the hedge funds were buying out all the properties and the first time home buyer couldn't. That's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's like those lobbying dollars make it where our governor say, yeah, I made this law because I owe y'all. You see what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. So guess what? We're not gonna have anybody that's just. You might go into politics thinking, "Oh, I love it, and I want to do right." But when you see the underbelly of how a lot of this shit works, if we're not united, man, in our community, man, it's not gonna work out like we really want to.
Well, see, this is one of the things that wears me out as well. Like you said earlier, what we grew up around and what we saw and stuff like that. These kids are not getting a second chance.
Yeah, they not.
So it's like, okay, we hearing that they getting football numbers and L's thrown at them for making mistakes that a lot of young folks make due to the fact that they just might be hungry.
Right.
See, that's the other part too. Yeah. See, a lot of this stuff is, you got so many, if you ride around in the city, we got so many homeless people, but you got working homeless people out here.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about I'm homeless, been smoking crack all damn day. I'm talking about I get up and go to work.
Yeah.
I'm taking a bath at LA Fitness every damn day, and I'm going to my tent at night, and I'm working every damn day, and I can't make enough money to get out of this vicious ass cycle that I'm in.
You can't get ahead.
So now, what if you raising kids in that? What the hell are them kids gonna go out and do? They like, hey man, I ain't trying to live in no damn tent tonight.
Right.
We need a hotel. So I'm gonna have to knock somebody off to go and get that. What are we doing to subsidize people to help them with living? What are we doing to give jobs to young folks? Like I said, if everybody got a job making $20 an hour, and that's the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
If you got enough money to go out and steal ball and you working every day, that will become the cool thing to do. But if we lock everybody up and we don't give them an option of something else to do, guess what? We just lock them folks up just to lock up the next group of folks because we ain't solved no damn problem. How can you solve a crime problem and not actually help people out of poverty?
Yeah, it's really kind of attacking the output of it, but not the root cause.
Exactly. We all know what the root cause is. Yeah. We know that just because we saw people growing up that you knew weren't no gangsters.
Yeah, they weren't gangsters, but they living off Skittles and Cheetos and Checkers.
And they didn't have nothing, and they wound up turning that way because they had to damn survive. It's so many good-hearted folks that wound up going down those paths to survive. Yep. So why don't we find a way to help people survive in this city by providing opportunities and better access to more education as well?
I think that's the biggest thing. The education, a lot of people look at it from, loans, student loans and all that. But first of all, it gets your wheels spinning, man. Mm-hmm. Second of all,
save my damn life.
You see what I'm saying? Second of all, it's the networks in there.
Yeah.
I'm very isolated now. I choose who I give my energy to and who I network with and do business with. But in school, I was around a lot of like-minded people.
Exactly.
You're not gonna get that any other time of your life, man. Come on. It's a special time in your life, and I think, even though I understand that the loans and stuff here, it is very different than other countries, and it is very tough. But it takes a special person. Yeah. I don't even give a damn if you're looking at YouTube just to change a ceiling fan. To teach yourself anything on YouTube University and to be able to make money from it, it takes a hell of a person.
Exactly.
And most people don't have the wherewithal, the dedication, and to put it into real lifetime application, bro.
Well, see, they got it. They don't know that they were supposed to. That's what the issue is. I knew so many students that would go to school and didn't know that, hey, man, you got to use this education that you get.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how do they know how to take that and to use it? A lot of people don't even know when you were teaching that you were the blessing. A lot of people don't know that you were the blessing to show how to work in a corporate structure and to build your own empire while you're there, while you're being oppressed. My coworkers, they know. I used to say, I told them what I was gonna do, but I knew I was gonna have to take the stairs.
Yeah.
I knew that every time I got that carrot dangled, it wasn't gonna do nothing but just say nanny boo boo, ha ha ha. You can't climb up this goddamn ladder. Well, guess what? I don't want that goddamn ladder.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But I understood that it was on me. And so my thing is, people like me, people like you, we have to have businesses to employ people in the younger generation, and we kind of gotta be.
We gotta show them.
We gotta show it. And guess what? I'm gonna be honest. Man, I'm burnt out from showing. I done so much good goddamn deeds, man, with no reciprocation.
Oh yeah.
Out of entitled people.
Yeah. And
I'm still supposed to be a good-hearted person. You know, it's tough.
Well, Bano said this to me, and it made so much sense when he said it. He said, B, we always telling people what to do. He was like, we got to show them.
Yeah.
He was like, everybody had a good idea for me. He was like, but until somebody showed me how to do it. And the whole thing is, too, guess what? When we show you how to do something, we ain't showing you how to do it for you to go run off on the plug. We showing you how to do it for you to go help somebody else. Anytime I show somebody how to do something, they be like, hey, man, oh, thank you so much. Oh, man, my God, thank you so much, man. Right. And I said, hey, bro, you ain't got to give me nothing. I don't want nothing from you. But if somebody asks you how to do this, show them how to damn do it, too.
Right.
Show them how to do it and pass it along and empower the next person so they can be successful as well. And that's one of the scary things that I see out here in these streets, man. But on another note, rental crisis. You know, I've been talking to folks out here renting houses, renting apartments, and rent's going up by $400 at a time, and that's causing folks to be homeless, man.
Yeah.
When is the city gonna step in and say, hey, you can't rent above this price because it's causing people to be homeless and kick indoors and rob and kill people? When does the city step in for that?
I think that's a big part of the problem. If you're looking at a global city, and we want it to be as such, and when I say we, I mean the powers that be. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of this is collateral damage, man. A lot of people being displaced and having to move to Clayton and further out is collateral damage. That's why you don't see a lot of people addressing the root cause. It's because a lot of that stuff starts in the home, man. Mm-hmm. In a perfect world, man, and I think honestly with me, why I've been so low key is the deeper I go, the more I understand that it's gonna take a lot more of us coming together than what we see. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of stuff that we've been putting our energy into is not gonna produce fruit. This entertainment shit that we all see. I've been working so hard, I can afford to do certain things under the entertainment umbrella. But for certain people, it's a distraction. What do I mean by that? Who can even afford to go to Falcons games to afford PSLs when we got a recession going on? We can't afford the normal. Go to the club. The club to park. I hate it for my single dudes out here. Yeah. You date multiple women, good luck.
You better be a baller.
The reason I'm here is because even when I was up, I stayed below my means.
Oh man.
You see what I'm saying? So guess what? If I'm showing you anything, which really I barely leave the goddamn house. When I come on here, this really like I work and I cool out and I raise my kids. But on a serious note, I think it's this attention thing with this social media. The attention will make your gangbanger.
Yeah.
Say, you know what? I ain't trying to do this crime. Even though I'm hungry and I'm dusty, I'm not just gonna do this crime and just feed my family. I got to show that I'm the one that did it. It's like everything. The clout. Do y'all understand this whole life is a trap? This whole system is a trap. Let's go one step further.
I'm with you.
How many songs said, I'm in the trap, I'm in the trap? They got us screaming out that we are glad that we are in a booby trap. A goddamn trap, okay? I remember being young and when the gas was 89 cents to 99. Even if I wanted to go holler at a girl out in Lithonia, okay?
Yeah.
It was a big deal to leave outside of 285.
That's real.
So how in the hell, for people who can't afford to leave out of 285, how you gonna get a plug? Where do a plug come from if it ain't a trap?
Yeah.
You're allowed to do whatever illegal shit until they ready for your ass to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, this social media and attention mixed with we study your community more than y'all even understand. So we're gonna set these booby traps. We're gonna incentivize the folks who gonna keep making the music saying, I'm in a trap, bitch. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a whole system, it's a whole game, and most of us don't even know we getting played on. And then when somebody come and tell you the fact that you getting played on, you kill them. You use that energy to crucify the messengers, man.
What you just said, I figured out, it light bulb hit me in my head right when you were saying what you said, and I know how you avoid the trap and how you keep from getting fucked up. Is living below your means.
Yeah.
But living below your means is anti-social media. It's anti-clout.
It's anti this whole country.
The whole establishment.
More. I ain't gonna lie. I had to duck and dodge it a little bit myself. Because, boy, me and Slim, my wife, whew, we were gonna go a few years back. We was gonna go buy an estate. We was gonna go buy a compound. And I looked at her. She looked at me. She said, how you feel? I said, I feel like we don't need it.
Yeah.
Because the house we in got love.
Come on.
Our kids are happy. What I mean, like, how many people do I have over at my house anyway?
Come on.
So why do I need 8,000 square feet? Now it's cute to have if I'm a show off person, but go look at my Instagram. I don't show you. No, I don't do nothing but work and raise my kids.
Well, guess what? If you show it off, folks will come in your house and rob you blind.
So what's the point?
So in order to avoid the traps of America and the system and the ghetto as well, live below your damn means.
Oh my God.
And let me get in here. Some folks be like, I'm deprived of myself. I'm not going to not have all the finer things in life, so I can't not. No. Well, guess what? When they come running in your damn house, whooping your ass and robbing your ass blind, you going to have an issue. Guess what? When you can't afford to keep none of the shit you done bought because of recession, you going to have an issue.
Yep.
And when you find out you can't take none of that shit with your ass anyway.
Because it's harder to the maintenance on everything is harder than to actually obtain it, to keep it all. A lot of people save face and lose their mind, lose their sanity. This the only reason I'm not gray and bald is because it ain't that serious.
Yeah.
It ain't that deep.
Come on.
It ain't that goddamn deep.
Lastly, how do we win in a recession, AD? I mean, we trying to win out here, man. It's real in the field, and we trying to damn win. It's
going to be group economics, honestly. I'm working on some stuff where don't want to let the cat out of the bag too early, but I'm working on some big things as far as creating collectives where we can do create legitimate businesses and legitimate pipelines under commercial real estate, under a few other things as well. But the winning, honestly, and I don't want to be cliche, but it's the mentality. What we see externally, everything you see, any fruit that's been born from a tree that I planted is just the output of a change in my mentality.
Yeah.
Once I understood the fact that, damn, all this shit a scam. This whole shit, this whole corporation, this shit's a game.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let me figure out the rules of the game. Okay, now I done figure out the rules of the game. Now, damn, let me share this to the people I know. Hey, man, hey, no, this credit shit is tricky. No, it's the other way around. Get as much as you can and do and leverage it. And so I think a lot of us don't need to start with trying to do shit. It's here. We need, see, when I was taking a deep ass breath and praying before I went into my job, or crying on my goddamn lunch break, or goddamn punching a wall, or whatever the hell I was doing, once I realized, I spent, because the first thing was, I had to understand that, damn, I put all my energy towards this shit.
Yeah.
And this shit's going to keep me here. I can't be free. I don't have any kind of spiritual liberation.
Yeah.
So once I had to get over that hurdle, then I realized, okay, grieve that shit.
Yeah.
But now change your goddamn mentality. So now you got to keep your goddamn job and not quiet while you quiet quitting.
Yeah.
Keep your goddamn job, but build this shit and diversify while you got it.
How about a new term? Empowered quitting.
Empowered quitting.
You quitting, but you gonna leave out this bitch empowered. Let's go about quitting that way.
Man,
because ain't that how you quit?
Yeah, I remember them. They would, when you were getting passed over for promotions, and they would get off on the fact that they knew you were the best person, and they'd be like, "You will always be here." And I'd be thinking, "Y'all don't know what the hell I got up my goddamn sleeve. Exactly. I won't ever tip my hand." So I would employ people. Look for if you're at this point, commercial real estate, single families too. So multifamilies. Group economics, like commercial real estate for sure. Like I said, gold and silver, stocks, options. But for people who, my younger people and people who really are just kind of getting into this enlightened state, is here. I can talk this bowl, and this is just the output of all the hard work and tears, all the fast and all the praying, all the trial and error.
Exactly.
I don't have
trial and error.
I don't have a playbook. I don't have a lot of mentors and all that shit. But I'm willing to be that mentor for people. Yeah. What did my grandma say? For people who want to help their goddamn selves, not any and everybody. So that's all I got.
My answer to everything is living below your damn means. If you live below your means, man, you can do whatever the fuck it is you want to do. You can save that money. You can start that business. You can take that trip. You can put somebody through college. You can have a layoff and be okay. You see what I'm saying? Just the peace of mind. For me, I don't know. I don't care about the shiny things. Ooh. I care about the peace of mind. Man. So that's my whole thing is, because, that peace about that. But then also, I got to ask some people sometime, because coming from where we come from, we know what real poverty feels like. Yeah. And to know when you come from that and you've seen it firsthand and up close and personal, that means you can get back. You can find your way back there.
You can make a mistake. You
can find your way back there. Okay. And you see what I'm saying? Because you was there one time. And ain't nobody trying to put you there. Right. The folks that was there with you, they was like, hey, man, we don't know how the hell we got here either. Well, we here. But I can tell you how they got there. Living above their goddamn means.
Assimilation, integration.
Come on. If you live below your means, you'll never see a day of poverty in your damn life.
When you're up, you don't have to take your goddamn expenses and your lifestyle up. I bought my wife one of them goddamn expensive ass purses, man, and asking me how many times she wear it. She don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. She don't give a damn.
Damn.
She don't care. So why? So my whole thing is, but what does she do care about? Taking trips, experiences. Every time I leave the country, I be like, damn, why am I coming back again?
Yeah.
It literally, when you can travel, it literally, I tell anybody, if you can leave just once a year, I promise it'll change your perspective. Because if you don't go for yourself, you're only seeing it from the lens of
what they give you.
The programming, TV programming. So if they say Africa looks like a lot of folks scratching their ass.
See, you really gonna take it back to the African booty scratching?
Well, yeah, I grew up. Last name Okanya, so
you can get away with it. Oh yeah, he 50% African,
y'all know what time it is. But y'all get what I'm saying. I'm Igbo. I put somebody in the mouth for saying it to me, but I can say it. But that's the thing. I see the word, and that's one thing I didn't understand, bro. I used to think, folks, crazy. Why would you spend money on goddamn? Every time I leave, I be crying. I be in customs crying. Like, what's wrong with you? But man,
gotta go back to
this oppression, man.
Yeah.
Shit, man. And so, I'm with you 100%. Because like I said, I ducked and dodged it, man, myself. I almost fell victim to it, so I'm no different than anybody else. I just know the other side of it, man. It's real freedom.
And at the end of the day, too, like the thing says on Instagram and like the sayings always said, you ain't doing nothing but flexing for folks that don't give a fuck about your ass anyway.
That's the truth.
They don't care whether you got it or not. So don't let these folks fool you into making you believe that you got to put on the show for folks that won't piss on you if you're on fire. They won't give you a ride if you can't get to work.
They'll say rest in peace for a week.
They'll say rest in peace for a goddamn week, and they done forgot your ass even lived. Because everybody's numb to it now.
Shit.
And I'm going to sit there right there. How can these folks contact you, though, AD, if they're talking about some commercial real estate? They're talking about some residential. They're talking about trying to get into the brokerage and all that stuff, man. What the hell do they need to do?
Instagram, Adonis the Broker. TikTok, Adonis the Broker. Okanya and Associates, OKONYA.com. And Facebook, YouTube, all that.
All right.
Same thing.
There you have it. Beehive Radio Shouty, Adonis the Broker. Holla at y'all in a minute, man. We gone.